There's so many strong principles in the book of James, and he is going to teach us a very strong principle concerning the law today. And in the law that he is speaking of is the law of love. I think it's very easy for us to point our fingers at those who commit adultery, and point our fingers at those who lie, and point our fingers at those who murder, and say, aren't they terrible people? But what James is trying to tell you this: before you point your finger to other people and look at their sin, ask yourself this question: are you loving other people? Because your lack of love for others is just as bad as adultery, and your lack of love for others is just as bad as murder. Look at what he says. He says, if you really fulfill the royal law according to the Scripture, you shall love your neighbor as yourself, you are doing well. But if you show partiality, you are committing sin or convicted by the law as transgressors. He's talking about partiality here. He said, if you pick favorites, and if you love some and don't love others, then you are breaking the law of love. You've been called to love your neighbor as yourself. And then he goes on and he says this. He says, for whoever keeps the whole law but fails in one point has become accountable to all of it. So if I keep all the law and I fail in the area of love, I'm guilty of the whole law. Now listen, that's why we need Christ. Outside of Christ, we have broken the law, we are guilty of the law, and we will stand condemned by the law. But Jesus Christ kept the entire law in our stead, so that when we stand before God, we're not going to be judged based on what we did or did not do, but we're going to be based on all that Christ did. But his concern for you here in this passage is this: you need to love other people. Don't condemn other people. Don't judge other people. And also, you need to realize that your love for other people is just as important as your concern to not commit adultery, your concern to not commit murder. James is concerned that you're showing partiality. James is concerned that you're showing favoritism. And James is saying this to you: stop favoring. Stop showing partiality. And love other people with the love that God has loved you with. To love others, you're to love others just as you love yourself. When you and I don't do that, we break God's clear law.